2 and shortly after Game 3. Yeah, so a lot to look forward to.
All right, great. You guys just heard the announcer there.
Yeah, right, the announcer.
We're going into Cursed Hollow. Game number 1, the draft has started between Resurgence and Meowpork. We're going to have Resurgence with the first pick and ban here. Okay, this is a little bit interesting because the patch is a very different one. And I don't know why I'm seeing the chat there. That's interesting. Hi, Pizza Xiao. This is going to be a fun game already.
That's right. I mean, speaking of patch, we will be on the live servers. So that means that we're not exactly on the Probius patch. We're actually working on the most latest patch, actually. Like,
yeah,
for example,
the balance
we have...
patch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we have Tassadar, a bit of rework here. So whether Tassadar will be first pick, first ban, that is still up to the question there. I mean, we've seen a bit of Lily plays as well. Are you ready for the Lily meta here, Babel?
No.
All right, okay. Fast and sweet answer.
Yeah,
I
all right.
like that.
So Gul'dan is the first ban. Resurgence have traditionally been doing this since last weekend as well. So nothing has changed on their side. I don't know if they're going to prioritize that Tassadar, like you mentioned, but Meowpork, they are also having the same thoughts. Now, in Southeast Asia, there is generally a lot of respect for Tassadar as a second banner. You really want to make sure that you take out the Tassadar because it is more often than not going to be the first pick here.
That's right. And I mean, if we just strictly look at the trends last weekend, we've seen a lot of bans on both Tassadar and Zarya. So it seems like in the Southeast Asia region, we don't really like to play against these heroes that can give a lot of shields, especially given the amount of utility that these heroes can can give to the battlefield. And of course, Tassadar will be banned on the side of Meowpork.
All right, now a couple of things to note here. You're right, we don't really want to deal with the shield meta. It has been changed up a little bit already, so I don't think the shield meta is going to stay. But here for Resurgence, the first pick is going to be pretty open, man. They will be deciding between Vala, Falstad, Dahaka, top 3 potential picks for them.
That's right, and I mean, of course, given that Cursed Hollow is a pretty big map, you would want to go for the global heroes. And we've seen throughout this entire weekend, actually, that basically Falstad and Dahaka, top 2 contested heroes if they haven't already been banned. So this gives a lot of flexibility for Resurgence to go for the type of heroes that does have a bit more flexibility. You don't want to go immediately for the heroes that can be immediately hard countered here.
Yeah. Taking the time to decide as usual. Resurgence now. Do they want to take the Falstad, or is it going to be the standard? All right, it will be the Falstad, prioritizing the global coming in here. Very flexible pick as well, but that unlocks potential for Dahaka on the side of Meowpork. Now, we've actually seen the Kurza play this year before. Pretty interesting Dahaka. Very good experience in soaking the lane as well as the spots in which you can provide a gang. That's really, really good coming in from Meowpork. So for here, what do you think the other pick's going to be?
I mean, it's the question of whether Meowpork will bite and actually take Dahaka in this current meta. I mean, they can actually leave it to later to actually pick it, seeing that Resurgence has already the global. Might be a bit of a gamble here. Let's see what their thought process will be like. Maybe they might not go for Dahaka at this stage. What do you think?
I feel like if they don't pick it here, it probably will get banned. And you really don't want to give Resurgence that option. So there we have the Dahaka and the Malfurion. Now, Malfurion is a personal choice from Meowpork, simply because Meowpork, the player, not the team, they both share the same name, and this confuses me. But Malfurion is one of his most well-known and tried and tested heroes, so they're just playing very comfortable picks here.
That's right. Like you mentioned at the beginning, Meowpork from the team Meowpork, so don't confuse with that. He's really a good support player, can play, basically he favors Malfurion in almost any draft there, and his Twilight Dreams has been pretty on point if we saw it last weekend, so Malfurion pick definitely explained in this context.
Alright, so Resurgence now with 2 more picks, and it is potentially going to be a warrior pick first. I don't think they're going to go into the damage dealer so soon. Resurgence also is known to hide strategy, and if they do so, they will normally go for a support as well as a tank. In terms of tank-wise, I would believe that ETC is actually a pretty good hero right now in this current patch, so they may want to go for that. Resurgence does not like to go with the standard Diablo, but Muradin and Zeratul. We have seen this before, Zeratul on Zappy.
That's right. I mean, in the last weekend's game, he played a lot of Zeratul, especially when the opponent team went for the Falstad. So Zeratul, basically, the playstyle in this context, especially in a map as big as Cursed Hollow, is that he will be roaming around looking for picks, and once he gets a pick there, especially he'll go for the wombo combo and will take him out effectively, allowing his global teammate to actually continue soaking the lanes here.
Alright, if you're Meowpork, Teddy, you probably know that this should be a support ban, but who do you take out?
So basically Malfurion has been taken out, so still got some pretty good supports out there. I mean, you can still go for the Rega, you can still go for the Lucio. I mean, we've seen a few Lucio plays as well. Southeast Asia region highly prioritizes Lucio in their draft, so really a lot of flexibility here. The question is, which support do you think that Resurgence plays very well in? I mean, they're pretty flexible players. They have a lot of hero pools. Question is which one to narrow down on. Oh, and they will be banning the Lucio.
The Lucio ban. Lucio, the sound barrier, just very difficult to work with in the thick of things. And an immediate Tychus ban coming out from Resurgence. Now, this means that they probably want to go a secondary tank here. Arthas would be a good pick for Meowpork in this instance. I feel that Arthas would at least be able to help the Haka, hold the front line with a flank coming in from the Haka. That's, of course, you know, Ceteris Paribus, where everything else is constant, and that teams here just don't get out of position.
Well, if they play well, of course, the drafts will definitely play a role. Arthur's definitely a good pick here, but that of course leaves the possibility on Resurgence side to go for Leoric. I mean, Leoric is a fantastic counter. It fits into the draft together with Muradin, very strong frontliner. So definitely something that they're going through in their mind, seeing that they're actually taking their time here. Meowpork not going to be so brash about their decision here.
Yeah, Meowpork not going to be too excited there. All right, going for the standard Arthur's Greymane. Greymane, a fantastic damage dealer in this current patch, and it has been one of the most consistent damage dealer around. So we love to see that there is a Greymane, and Arthur's, like I said, probably just to reinforce the Dahaka. A solo warrior Dahaka, not so good. Arthur's, it's a little bit weird. If you look at his draft and you're wondering why this is happening and why is Arthur's being allowed through the second half of this draft, it's because Resurgence and Meowpork, both of these teams, they don't feel that Arthur's is first tier.
That's right. I mean, Arthur's has been performing really well, of course. Last weekend in Quick Match, in Hero League, we've seen a lot of Arthur's plays, if played well. I mean, basically, you can go for the sustain build if you're a solo tank here. Might be going for the the sustain build on the side of Meowpork, going for the army of ghouls here. Or even if you're going for a bit more aggressive composition, you definitely can go for the Syndragoza build to take out anyone going for the picks. And this is going to complement so well if you have a Dahaka in your team.
Alright, it's a standard lineup here from RSG. It will be the Leeming and Rhaegar. Very interesting pick there. And to finish it up, it's going to be a Nazeebo coming in from Meowpork. That's a rare one.
I was about to say that they'll be going more for the mage build. That would be my suspicion here. But Nazeebo definitely shifts the composition on the side of Meowpork a bit more to the late game side. I mean, Nazeebo definitely a bit more stronger in the late game, and seeing in the most recent rework, you might want to go for basically the build has to go for 175 stacks now instead of 150.
We're getting an update here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Combox SCA 1-0 Inquisition in under 10 minutes, Teddy.
Wow, we haven't even finished our draft yet.
Yeah, this is insane.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so
basically they played on the Battlefield of Eternity, so the first map there, and it's already been decided within 10 minutes. So definitely something to look forward to as we progress on at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's shocking.
It's shocking?
It is. In under 10 minutes to finish off a game against Inquisition, the team that, although they are strategically not really in tune with each other, there's a little bit of hesitation there, a lot of indecisiveness coming out from this team. But we know that Combox SCA is just on the next level.
That's right. I mean, we've seen yesterday's games, and Jehao even mentioned it as well. I mean, basically, they need to work on the hesitation, the proper shot calling, and the decision making on the side of Inquisition. So this might be what's causing them to actually not get the point effectively when it should be that case. So that might lead to that. But of course, it's still 1-0. It can still go 2-1 on the side of Inquisition. We can't give our hopes that fast.
Could be possible. just maybe a bad draft. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going into game number 1 between Resurgence and Meowpork. Now, on the red team, we got Meowpork, and Meowpork himself going to be playing the Malfurion. Zez and on to the Dahaka. Pizza Xiao will be playing the Nazebo, Xcarik on the Grey Main, the Kurza will be Arthas.
That's right. And on the blue team, we have Resurgence, of course. Zappy, as you mentioned, Babel, who will be on the Zeratul. Julian there will be on the Rhaegar. Capricorn on the Falstad. And Yu Yang on the Muradin. And the CW on the Liming.
What's interesting here is that CW is the tank player.
That's right.
But we see Yu Yang on the Muradin. This once
really
again proves the point that we actually have a really flexible team here.
All right. So, of course, they'll be going into the middle lane. And, of course, we see that Falstad going on the off lane in the top lane. So that will be interesting here.
All right. We're actually doing a pause right here. Unfortunately, due to a bit of a spike, we're going to remake. And this is actually the way we are going to fix today's games.
That's right.
Yeah.
So basically, we will be acting on a premise that if you do not spike within the first 3 or 5 minutes, we will continue on with the game. So this is sort of in ties with the technical difficulties that we are experiencing. But no fret about that. We're going to get the game on, and we have everybody working on it right now. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, so what's going to happen now is that since we've already introduced the teams, when they find a stable server, we will be it will be known to us, and we'll then start the game from there. So far, it's just interesting to me that we have a very staple standard RSG draft coming out, and on the other side for Meowpork, they're just playing something they're also very comfortable with the exception of Nazebo. Nazebo is so late game.
That's right.
Level 20, you see the Storm Talons being picked up, and it's gonna be insane because that is so late game. You don't even know how confident this team is in reaching that stage.
That's right. I mean, it definitely boils down on the side of Meowpork to reach late game, seeing that they have already put Nazebo into their consideration. Honestly, like I've said, we could go for something else that is a bit more mid-game, but no, they choose for the late game. That's perfectly fine, but that means that they have to play very conservatively here, not go into the team fight so much. I mean, yes, you did mention that you would want there are times that you need to fight to actually stop the enemy team from getting the required level. But in order for Meowpork to do that, I mean, you have to really play conservative and get to level 20 as fast as possible here.
Yeah, in terms of soaking, you could tell straight up from the draft that Dahaka is going to be the one in solo lane. Zebo probably will be having a bit of support coming in from Malfurion. Greymane and Arthas, with this kind of a lineup, I don't think they're going to go for early game ganks, though. Unless they want to do it before the tribute and they're lucky enough to know where it is. It's a little bit tricky, I feel,
right.
and very risky as well. Now, on the other side for RSG, though, they have the Zeratul to work with. And we've seen Zappy play the Zeratul on big battlegrounds before. It's really good because he is always able to find those flanks, those single target pickoffs. And that just is what's going to excite me. Now, Meowpork, you're right, they're going to have to play safer. But it's not like Meowpork cannot take a team fight. I'm sure they can. It's just more on the fact that how are they going to make sure that they walk out of the laning stages, not losing out too much.
That's right. And I mean, once you have a 0-2 on the opponent team, you can't really play as safely as you do in off-lane. And I mean, definitely, if you're Zappy and you see the team composition right now, definitely you would go for Nazebo and maybe an occasional Dahaka when they are in off-lane and, you know, just chilling around and you just go for the kill. So that means that you need proper support and proper reinforcements on these off-laners, especially Dahaka and Nazebo.
Yes, definitely. The question here is, how is Meowpork going to play the early game? They may actually want to do 2 solo lanes, I think. That could be possible, but just make sure Nazebo is going to push down the lane. Considering that as a factor, we may actually see Dahaka solo one of the off lane. And then we will also see Arthas along with the Nazebo and Malfurion on one. Greymane is going to solo the other one. I think this kind of a lineup should be pretty comfortable for the team to pull off, especially since Greymane, he doesn't need to. When we say solo a lane, we don't mean that you have to kill off your opponent. Of course, if that can happen, that is a bonus. But you want to play safer. If you know that in that matchup, you're open to ganks and stuff like that, you want to make sure that you just stand behind the tower and just get those EXP, man.
That's right, and like we say, Heroes of the Storm, you don't need to go for any of the kills there. Just stay in a lane and soak. And as we mentioned, that's going to be so important for Meowpork, isn't it? I mean, to get to the late game, you just gotta soak. You can't basically feed the enemy team. If you do that instantly, that's over, and Resurgence is going to ride on this momentum once you lose a few important kills.
Yeah, and that's a little bit hard for Resurgence to deal with because if you look at the lineup here, they will definitely ask Falstad to be in a solo lane, and on the other hand, Muradin will probably be on the lane that's gonna push a little bit with Leeming and Rhaegar, but Zeratul, if he's gonna be locked in the lane, that's not a good Zeratul. I feel that if they spread the resources too thin as well, then there comes a question of how do they stop against a specialist like Nazebo that's going to push the lane really fast. All right, so we're now going to try again game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this is the correct server. I feel like it's like you have to choose the right lottery.
It's like RNG. You gotta just choose. Like you pray, you just choose one and then pray that it actually works. So in this case, let's hope for everyone, for us, for the viewers, that this will be the game that will not have any of this crazy spikes. And right off the bat, we do see a bit of the split in terms of laning. Falstad on Resurgence will actually be on the bottom lane. And while actually, interestingly enough, Zeratul will be alone in the middle lane here.
So Meowpork wants to take the early game mid lane aggression, that's fine, but Resurgence has got no response to that. They don't really pay attention to the mid lane aggression, but Zes top lane no, and Yu Yang already looking for the clap. He gets it, the stun lens as well, but the spike comes out and it looks like Zes will be fine.
That's right, so Resurgence will be going on the top lane right now, and I mean both teams are actually having the same idea, and we look at the bottom lane actually, Meowpork has 3 of their heroes going in for Falstad, so they're actually going for the global. That's really interesting. Zes misses the drag and still holds on to the lane right now.
Alright, they already take down the tower. Bottom lane wise, don't think it's going to look as similar with Nazebo, especially as they're pushing the lane really well. I mean, Leeming's a good hero to siege structures, but look at this kind of damage. Man, those zombie walls gonna do a lot of work.
That's right. So with Nazebo on the bottom lane, Babel, I mean, you're gonna have so much siege damage, and let's be honest, it's going to be really, really hard for Capricorn to actually hold the front against 3 of Meowpork's heroes. But the question is, will he be able to stop this aggression compared to the top lane before the tribute spawn out?
I don't think it's about stopping aggression. I think it's about slowing them down at this point because you know that you're going to just trade structures, right? So top lane, they're going for the fort already here. You're just doing your best to make sure that it doesn't happen as fast as you thought. So look at Capricorn's positioning, just being very, very safe. Xcarrick jumps in a little bit deep there. The root comes out and he catches Capricorn, and that is a dead Falstad.
Oh my, that fried chicken wing that you always mention, Babel, is going down. And like we mentioned, they are going to sort of lose out in this trade given that pick here. So with that, Zeratul now has to actually rotate down to the bottom lane, giving a free lane to others. So clearly, Resurgence isn't performing so well in the first few minutes of the game, but still nothing wrong about that. The tribute's gonna spawn in another 10 seconds, and they have to see how they will play in this clash.
It's okay. So both of these teams now going for the Siege Giants. By the way, Falstad already used that flight to the mid lane here. You gotta be very careful. The root, if it connected, would have been disastrous. Meowpork again, looking for the entangling root, not gonna land at this time. And Resurgence now rotates to the top lane. We also see Muradin already in position there.
That's right. So interestingly too, as well, that Falstad is going for the Hammerang Mage build. So Zeratul will be the main AA damage. Falstad basically will be combining with Leeming to try to do as much ability damage as possible here.
Okay, so it looks like I'm waiting for updates right here.
Yep.
But there's a pause now, and we're waiting for the referee to decide what's the next step. But this game, you can see Capricorn. I don't know if it's latency. It's so easy. I do these all this time, Teddy, all the time. Whenever you die in the game, whenever, and there is a lag, you always blame the lag.
Oh no. But it's fine. I mean, the lag does affect the game. It does. Just that sometimes we might blame it a bit too much.
Yeah, possible. But here, still waiting for the admins to decide what's the next step. But this game, man, you could tell that the bottom lane structure did go down. Also, top lane structure did go down. So it's still a valid trade. It's just that because Capricorn died, they lost out a little bit on the EXP in the mid lane there. So that's a little bit of a problem. Now for Meowpork, they played a pretty flawless game so far. Rotations wise, you also have the Haka just hovering back home and then using Brush Talker to go back into the top lane. And in case you're wondering, Teddy's looking at the screen to look for updates there. He's not staring into the abyss.
That's right. I mean, the updates are there. And of course, so basically, in terms of the team composition, you're absolutely right. Early game, Meowpork has been playing really well, giving the Haka the off lane and also Nazeebo to actually go together with the other Meowpork team heroes and to take anyone down, and even lends his power to pushing the lane down. So far, that's sort of how you play the early game, not so much of aggression, just as and when you see the enemy team hero.
All right, so the admins have made a decision already. We're going to yet another remake. So
right.
the kill will be undone. The forts will come back up. And it looks like the spike issue is still here. But
still here.
we have decided that I think we are going to finish the tournament today, regardless. And until something else can be done, a decision can be made on another level, then we'll update you guys. But this has got to be a little bit painful for the players.
Yeah, it's painful for everyone, actually. I mean, for the viewers to actually see the game being remade so many times. We feel you, man. We feel you.
Yeah, but so far, I think that the testing this morning did indicate that there's some servers that are unstable. It's just unfortunate that you cannot choose those servers that have got a low ping. Sometimes you go into one that's a little bit fringe, and more often than not, it's just a chain of series of unfortunate events.
That's right. And of course, I mean, when you take into account that real money is actually on the line. I mean, in the first place, the winner will be walking away with $7,000. Second place will be going with $3,500, and third place will be going for $1,500 or $2,000. $2,000. Sorry, $2,000.
$1,500 and $500. So every team will go home today with some money in the pocket. Now, do note that that currency is in USD. USD. So that's some good money. It's like 1 to 1.4. in Singapore, so and that's like one of the most expensive countries in this region. So it's actually quite a lot of money for these players here for a region like Southeast Asia. So just honestly, a lot's on the line, and I think there's even more prize pool at the Mid Season Brawl, up to $250,000 there. The Southeast Asia representative will be guaranteed an amount if they do show up at the Mid Season Brawl. But for now, though, the biggest problem is, can we find a server that does not lag?
That's right. So definitely, it's not even about the game anymore. We're just looking for a server that we can find. But no worries, the entire team is on it, making sure that the game will run as flawlessly as possible for you.
Yep. All right. So just waiting for updates on the next game. But at this moment, we talked about the draft. It seems like your strategy is not going to change for the second game as well, where we have got that 2-lane solo.
That's right.
All right, for Cursed Hollow. RSG is going to let Zeratul solo a lane, and I think that he picked the mid lane for a start, which is really good because Zeratul, you want to be able to rotate both top and bottom after a while. So that kind of a trait, I think, works well for both teams.
That's right. And I mean, given that the game is remaking, they can do a lot more in terms of the early game on the side of RSG. I mean, seeing that they lost the bottom lane and they even lost a foul step being picked off in that process, I mean, they can actually making sure that it's a bit better as of now from there on.
I don't think that the bottom and top lane is going to change. Like nothing there is going to change because the strategy is very clear. We're going to trade forts, right? But the difference here is that you lose out on the false stat that walked into Entangling Root. You lost out on the fact that RG lost like 1 or 2 creep wave worth of EXP, and the false stat does not have flight for the next spell. So that's a little bit of a tough hit here for Meowpork. But they have agreed to a remake, so we're going to leave it at that. And it seems like we are going to set up for the next game soon.
That's right. So the admins are on the game right now. And, speaking of the draft, I mean, these drafts are really interesting. I mean, we've already established that the side of Meowpork is a bit more late game orientated. So but you still have to fight, especially when it comes to the tribute. So who do you think here has the stronger power in terms of the composition when you come to the early game clashes?
Early game clashes, you mean like 5v5, right?
That's right.
Okay, in the early game, I feel that RSG is going to be a little bit weaker because you look at his lineup, Falstad, Zeratul, Muradin, it does not scream early game aggression in the sense of a team fight. It probably screams flanks, pickoffs, which is what RSG is really known for. But post 10, though, that's where they can afford to take a good fight with Mighty Gus. You also have a very sustainable Muradin. It's a solo tank Muradin, by the way. And that Void Prison, very important as well. Rhaegar, Li Ming. I think this is a draft that does not allow early game to have a team fight at the first curse. I don't think it's that reliable for this lineup. But for Meowpork, I think they can actually do that, which explains why they were all 5-man at the mid lane a little bit earlier, because they were looking for a fight. Yeah, they have Drag, they have Arthas, that's 2 crowd control, CC. Malfurion with Entangling Root as well. Greymane, Nazebo. Greymane has got some form of burst in the early game already. Nazebo just has a wall, which does some damage as well. And there's just a lot of synergy there with the Entangling Root, Howling Blast, Drag. It just feels really good for Meowpork.
All right, so basically what you mentioned is that Resurgence has to go for the pickoffs, while sort of trying the best not to go all in this, especially when it comes to the 5v5s, going for the tributes. So that's basically Resurgence's strategy right now.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to note is that this is a very execution-heavy lineup.
That's right. Well, on the side of Resurgence, right?
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
is. Meowpork is basically just going in, easy team fight, protect the Nazebo, Greymane with a bit of a flank maybe, Dahaka also with the flank, Arthur's just holding the front. I think that kind of a synergy is a very safe synergy. But for RSG, their lineup, they need to play into Meowpork. The other ones, they need to jump onto Meowpork with a solo warrior. That's difficult. And Zeratul, on the other hand, with the Void Prison, again, execution heavy. Mighty Gus, execution heavy. It's not as simple as QWE where you go for those skill shots that can just lock in those players.
So here's something interesting. I mean, going with your argument here,
Yep.
basically, if Resurgence can pull off this game, it shows
Okay.
how powerful that their execution and hence their skill sets are. I mean, to actually execute all these execution-heavy heroic abilities, definitely shows how much they can actually, how much of the team ability that they have if they win, of course. And for Meowpork's side, however, it can show that sometimes simplicity isn't bad.
I think that they're playing something quite, comfortable for them.
So being comfortable, of course.
Gotta clear my throat.
No worries.
All right, so RSG on the other side, though, they are very familiar with this kind of a lineup. They're very familiar with this kind of roster and draft. So I feel that it will be a situation where they should be pretty comfortable with pickoffs. So I'm told that they are gonna try and resolve this in the background.
Okay.
So we just have to keep talking, Teddy.
All right. So more banter, of course. How's the Lily meta holding up for you?
Not so good. It's like my throat. It's like I saw Lily yesterday, and this went off.
Yeah, so if you weren't tuning in yesterday, Jehao and Babel, basically, Jehao was trying to break Babel and saying, he was just calling Babel out, saying that Lily actually is Babel's main character, and he's just not admitting it.
Okay. No. I don't like the Lily, really. I feel that it's just that the direction for Lily for me is very different. For Lily, I feel that it's a very newbie-friendly hero, but now it's like she's just off to do insane amount of damage, and man, that's just not the Panda I know.
Oh my. I mean, yeah, Lily definitely is very noob-friendly. Basically holding Q up. I think we have some of our production crew as well plays Lily and swears by Lily, actually, Wonder Who. And because of that, Lily basically has secured a spot, at least when the game first came out, at least.
Yeah.
But now, basically, before the changes, a lot of supports actually have outshined her. I mean, we have always a Malfurion going for the Rhaegar, going for the Lucio, especially when Lucio came out. Lucio was pretty big when he actually came out. I mean, AoE heals, sort of a passive AoE heal, that's pretty big on the meta.
Well, so far, still no updates. We're waiting for the decision before it come in. And in the meantime, though, we talked a lot about strategy. We talked about a lot about both these teams, but let's talk a little bit more about the team in the background as well. Conbox, SCA, and Inquisition.
That's right. I mean, we did see Inquisition play yesterday. We did talk about this earlier as well. Definitely a very strong team. It's just that we all of us agree that the shot calling definitely can be improved. A lot more to be improved on.
Yes.
and
Sorry. Wow.
all these.
What did my
You
voice
okay,
go?
man?
Yeah. Okay. So okay, this is a lot better. All right.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I couldn't even hear myself just now. So it was bad. All right. So we talked about Inquisition, right? With a really, really indecisive kind of a hesitation going to the games yesterday. They kind of threw one game where I thought they could actually win it, but the call there was just different. It's either the Shrine or All In and Core.
That's right. And I mean, what happened was actually they left one Arthas on the Shrine while the entire team goes in. And the problem with that was diversification is a good life strategy. But when it comes to esports, actually, interestingly enough, when you diversify, you actually can end up losing everything. And that's exactly what happened to Inquisition. So basically when they did that, they lost the team trying to go for the keep. And then when Arthas came, it was a bit too late.
All right. So the situation here is that Inquisition, man, that fight, they have the Arthas not even completing the Shrine.
That's
he
right.
He was just, I think, dancing. We call it dancing, but it's like, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing, and that was a key weakness for Inquisition. Now, Combox SEA, they played flawless games last weekend. Really flawless in the sense that even a game ended in under 7 minutes.
That's right. Wow. It shows the strength of the team. And I mean, given that this is the team basically that went to BlizzCon 2015, it's not a
2016.
team. Sorry, 2016. Not a team to be trifled with for sure.
Yeah, and I don't want to mess with these guys. I feel that they are really strong, but at the same time, I also feel like they're the only team that potentially has a plan going into a game, and I respect that a lot. So that's why, for me personally, I think that this is the team that potentially may take this qualifier.
And of course, Combox against Resurgence, definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
For sure, it'd be fun.
If we do eventually get that out. All right, so currently we have a second game update between Conbox SEA and Inquisition. The second map, Cursed Hollow, is under 10 minutes now. The score 2-0. So both of those games are completed. Complete 2-0, 10 minutes games.
That's right. So congratulations to Combox. I mean, they
are
managed
now
to
in the winner bracket.
Yeah, they went out in the winner bracket, but still, nonetheless, this is a double elimination bracket. So that means Inquisition is still not out of the running yet. They'll be going either against Pagey or what's the other team? The other lower bracket team.
Low bracket. Geisha.
Geisha or Pagey. So we'll definitely see where they will be seeded into. So don't give up hope on Inquisition yet. We did mention that Inquisition last weekend, they actually played really well on the first day. Yeah, on the first day. Saturday, even though they came short going against Resurgence, when we saw them play, they actually had very patient, very powerful strategies there. It is just a bit unfortunate what we saw yesterday.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting an update here. We're going for a short break, and we'll be back with more updates in just a bit. So sit tight and stay tuned. and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing you directly into game number 1. So the remake is now complete, and we do have a game. Now, what you missed out here while we were testing this server was a Zeratul dying in the top lane to Dahaka, and hold that thought Xcarrick, a lot of trouble. Yu Yang there already used the stun, it's on cooldown, still has the Dove Toss and the sustain from Meowpork, just so good.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so much damage being done, but still nonetheless, that's why you have to take Muradin down as fast as possible. But still, this is the early game, still won't be punished as of yet. But you definitely can't be doing this kind of hard engages on Muradin. If you only take it out, but only take Nazebo out, and Nazebo was caught totally alone in the lane, and just one jump from Yu Yang will be able to take him out.
Oh man, we were just about to say that that was a good sustain from Meowpork.
That's right.
Great play, very tight gameplay there. And then all of a sudden, you just left Nazebo alone. And oh, this aggressive maneuver from CW and gang. Yu Yang goes in, they won this. Xcarrick, nowhere to run now, son. And CW wanting a secondary damage there. Landing a secondary damage on the Meowpork. He wants a second kill, but does not get it. Yu Yang will pull back, and they curse out one by one. Meowpork is walking the Resurgence.
That's right. I mean, just going in because I just got trapped again. Just walking. He could see that he was going for sort of a flank with the rest of the teammates, but what he didn't see was the entire team of Resurgence actually going down there. And this is going to be pretty huge, seeing that the tribute is actually spawning within 5 seconds.
Okay, so this is a little bit interesting for me. Hold that thought. ZSN is here. No Brush Stalker required. Julian channeling up already. Xcarrick looking for the cocktail. No stun from Yu Yang though, and that will be the disjoint there. Drag from ZSN does not connect. Here comes Nazebo with the zombie walls.
That's right. So now they're just going for the tribute now. Meowpork channeling the tribute. Pizza Cell trying to zone him away, but Yu Yang goes for the stun right now. He's going for the crowd control, still pushes them back, going slow. Xcarrick just goes straight in. He will be able to sort of isolate Yu Yang. He has to take it down. Yes, they will be able to take Muradin down. Resurgence falls back. The tribute goes to Meowpork.
Wow, that was I didn't feel like Resurgence. I feel like they know that they shouldn't take the fight there, but they were just so obsessed with the tribute in that instance. And still very effective Greymane, great cocktail there. He went for the full-on cocktail build so far, and that looks to be pretty okay.
That's right, very patient playing style on the side of Meowpork. They knew they were one man down. They didn't rush the taking of the tribute. They did rush it just a little bit with the Malfurion sort of channeling it and therefore forcing a response on the side of Resurgence when Arthas was actually on the way back. So good plays on the side of Meowpork.
I just feel like that engage there on that tribute kind of threw away a little bit of lead that Resurgence had, because they were able to invade the aggressive Siege Giant camp. Now, you're looking at some of the camps getting picked up by both of these teams like clockwork. Again, they know exactly what they want to do. You go for the Bruiser camp, nothing too surprising there. And Tribute now going to spawn in the bottom side, Teddy.
That's right. So let's see how the teams will be going to go towards the Tribute. Tribute, of course, a bit more in favor on the side of Resurgence here. So we still have Nazebo, though, on the top lane, still chilling. So will he be joining the fight? So if Nazebo isn't going to join the fight, that means this is going to be an easy tribute for Resurgence, and it actually looks like Meowpork is giving out this tribute.
Yeah, they're more into pushing the mid lane there, and that's going to work out a little bit, but do not. The flank coming in from Zappy already. Singularity spike on Xcarrick. Yu Yang with the stun on the Malfurion. Julian goes for a bite. Meowpork now will go down.
Well done on the side of Julian. They're still going for the blood, though. Going straight for Xcarrick. Xcarrick, though, will be able to take Li Ming out there.
Alright, so Falstad not joining to find the mid lane, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. Great flank from the Haka. I'm sure it's being played by the Kaza.
That's right.
No, it's not.
Oh my.
ZSN.
Okay.
Right, ZSN. Both are Warriors player.
That's right. So, I mean, it's still pretty an even trade here. Still 1-1 on both tributes, on both teams. And still a lot to go for. And of course, as we mentioned, Resurgence strength comes from the level 10 talents, and they have to soak this as fast as possible. However, Meowpork is still a bit of an EXP lead, and as mentioned as well, the team clashes there on the side of Meowpork will be stronger there. So Resurgence definitely has to step up their game just a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like they were a little bit too greedy in the mid lane just now, but Zappy, okay, he's gonna be fine. Pizza, a little bit of trouble as well.
Just pushing him back right now, and now the tribute spawning. This might be decisive because Meowpork is gonna hit level 10 here, and if Resurgence plans to actually go for it, they can actually, because they themselves are close to level 10. We see Muradin coming down. Oh no, actually he will take back to the top lane there. And it seems like if the tribute is a bit more on side of Meowpork, it might be the smarter player seeing that they're already level 10 to give the tribute away.
Yeah, it will be. They already called for it. Now it really depends on how Meowpork plays this. The good thing about getting the second tribute is that when you go for a boss now, you can get the third one. It's an instant snowball. But can they pull it off? Hold that thought though.
That's right. Because just going in 1 to 3, and here comes Capricorn for the reinforcements there. He's just going out. Pizza Cell tries to take him out, but unfortunately Arthur still goes down with a Gargantuan being used though.
Oh god, that is going to be a long cooldown.
That's right. Well, he did try his best though, but Arthur still goes down. And let's see, will Resurgence capitalize on this? I mean, there's no more Gargantuan. There's a lot of siege damage that can be done here on the side of Resurgence.
Yeah, they can. The interesting thing is that they did not do anything just now. All the camps were taken. They did not go for the boss though. And here we have the tribute spawning. This is where I think Arthas has respawned and will join up in the fight.
That's right. So this is going to be an important tribute here. I mean, 1 to 2, they want to stop Meowpork. And all their heroics are available on the side of both teams except for the Gargantuan, which was used just now. So that means that this is still an opportunity for Resurgence actually to defend the tribute. They'll be going as the Cursor comes in right now, and Yu Yang will be going for the kill here.
Nice, the burst going in already. The Cursor though have to pull back and unfortunately getting walled out there in the front. The Guts comes out and you see the Void Prison's energy. Xcarrick gonna walk in the Void Prison as well, but he is solo looking to drop Yu Yang again with the clap in front. CW pulls back. A very aggressive Zazan is gonna apply a lot of pressure there. You see the Arcane up coming as well. The magic missiles connecting beautifully, but lack of mana on Li Ming is gonna be very, very careful here, and it's still gonna be a kill. 3 to 4 men down on the side here for Meowpork. And man, do they want to take the aggressive boss. Oh, this is interesting.
That's right. So, I mean, beautiful execution on the tribute there to actually take 3 of Meowpork's heroes out. And going for the boss, definitely very aggressive plays coming out on the side of Resurgence. And that was the exact fight that they were looking for. Going for level 10, the powerful hero is coming out. Even though that we do not have the beam coming out of Li Ming, but still, beautiful execution. This was the fight they were looking for.
Yeah, Li Ming, by the way, went for Wave of Force. So that's a little bit of a bursty Calamity synergy. We talked about this yesterday, that if you want to go for a Calamity build, you normally want to go for the Wave of Force as well. It's just got so much good synergy here. Now, Meowpork, because they have to deal with this top boss. Oh, look at this greedy play from Resurgence.
Wow, I mean, to go for the boss on the side of Resurgence, not exactly a bad call. They have to, once they're busy defending against the boss, they rode on the momentum, go for the boss on the bottom lane. Tribute is coming out, however, and it's going to be really close. This can actually be incredibly game-turning for Resurgence. If they manage to capture the boss, they manage to capture the Tribute, this is going to be it. This is their big moment for Resurgence to shine.
I just feel like everything fell apart from Meowpork then the moment they lost that fight, and it's all because they didn't do anything and lost Arthas in the mid lane when there were 2 tributes up. Julian gonna get this one, and it's gonna be a curse. Is Nazibo gonna stop it? No!
Oh no. This is going to be a curse on the side of Resurgence, so that means Meowpork has to fiercely defend this right now. So right now they have so much flexibility, and oh my, Nazeebo will be taken out at probably one of the worst timings in this game. So that means that Resurgence is free to push the middle lane. The boss will actually go on the bottom lane right now. Looks like this has been stopped, but there's still the aggression on the middle lane. It's just going full force right now.
No. Teddy Pay, the boss is still knocking on the bottom 4.
Oh, I couldn't see it.
Yeah, top 4, there is still minions. Mid lane is going down already. The fort is taken away by Resurgence. They are currently at almost 2 full level lead. And it's just one Dahaka on the bottom side. Look at this boss, still very healthy, but at least there is a Siege Giant there to help out.
That's right, the Siege Giant to defend, giving them a bit of breathing space. So yeah, the boss was a bit blocked on my side, but nonetheless, really powerful play. We saw them just take the boss, immediately going for the Tribute. So that was an incredible play, giving them such an incredible EXP gap on both teams. So as long as Resurgence doesn't do anything foolhardy, this is their game.
Yeah, it's their game to throw here. 2 level lead. Oh, Pizza getting rooted there. He's going to be fine though. No Resurgence member in the vicinity. Again, another camp gets picked up here by RSG. Now, apart from picking camp, the map is completely open up for RSG, which also means that they have that Zero tool to roam right now. This is the meat game that they're looking for. Do note that if this drags on too far out and too long, we have the Nazeebo level 20 to worry as well.
That's right. So now, with so much lead on the side of Resurgence, they have to end this somehow. I mean, every good thing comes to an end, and they have to ride this momentum to go all the way to get this game. And it looks like, well, for a random note, this is also a pretty smooth game, so that's good, I guess.
so I guess we found the right server. But so RSG's plan here is very simple. Pick up the camps, look for a fight, threaten to push. You just play it tight. The moment you see the opportunity, you execute it well, and then that's it. You just want to make sure that Meowpork makes a slight mistake at the door, the entrance. Something like this could be game as well. But okay.
Here we go. Here comes Li Ming pushing Scaring away. They have to go back, and wow, fantastic zoning out. They will be able to save their height. It's just a while longer.
All right, that wave of force was a good try. He wanted to push him towards the team. Unfortunately, he couldn't get that. Oh, Zappy, man, with those right clicks there. Julian going to keep him at safe level. False that top lane. Here's just going to be the rat here. Hold that thought, though. We may actually see a fight on top.
That's right, on top. Now going Falstad, going ham on Dahaka there. But meanwhile, at the bottom lane, so they're going for sort of a dual push on the top and bottom lane right now. 4 of Resurgence's heroes are now on the bottom lane. They have the entire team of Meowpork fiercely defending against the point. But this is going to be really difficult there, given that we actually have one talent advantage.
Yeah, okay. Now, I feel that although Resurgence is ahead, Meowpork is doing this really well. They're just holding the front line. Structures wise, all 3 keeps are still alive. And they have 2 tribute counts, so if they get 1 more, it's also going to be a curse for them. It still looks okay. Yeah,
it still looks okay. Looks like Meowpork is in no position to leave the base. If the Haka just leaves his post just for a little bit, it's going to spell devastation on Meowpork. So still taking the defensive route on the side of Meowpork, but still exactly what you said, Babel. Resurgence just needs to go for the camps, push, look for a mistake that Meowpork is going to commit at the gates and capitalize on that. So they're playing it patient, but they cannot be too patient.
Yeah, you're right. The clock is somehow working against RSG here. But still, you see the aggression under the bottom area being executed out here by 3 members, the Li Ming, Murden, and Rhaegar. Top lane is just one false stat. Mid lane, Zeratul doing what he can. But Zazan, it seems like he's going to catch out that Zappy there. Nope. Still fine.
That's right. So now they're sort of going on the tri-lane aggression there. 3 of Resurgence's hero dash, mixing up the strategy just a little bit, keeping Meowpork on their toes. But is that going to be good enough? Zazan still going in for the kill. Doesn't get...
Top lane.
Doesn't quite get the drag right now. And here we go. Pizza Xiao doesn't quite... almost being taken down. That would have been crazy right there.
If he was not in range of that keep, he would be dead. This rotation is not good. I mean, it was perfectly fine if the Haka on top. Slowly, your structure's going to get poked away, but that's fine. And here they want to fight. Now, if you're Meowpork, this is your moment. You lose this fight, it's game. You win it, you get that tribute, you get that curse, you even the level again. And Capri, oh god.
No, this is the burst. Oh, but the Howling Blast doesn't quite hit. That would have been crazy. That could have been Meowpork's game. But unfortunately, they'll be going to force the fight right now. The Kaza is going in. Here comes the Gargantua here.
Alright, it's not the best spot to summon a Gargantuan. And Zappy again with just a little bit of burst from the right click there. Not going to really commit. There is a gust for play. They're looking for a target. Yuyan gets it.
Here comes
Cursa blocks out the damage.
Wow, Zez almost got the drag on a CW, but still going in. Here comes Zappy. Oh no! But nonetheless, going in for the Ice Block on Meowpork's side to try to defend against him. The Ancestral Healing on the side of Zappy to keep him alive.
Alright, Yuyan gonna go in. The Thunderclap connects beautifully. Meowpork in a lot of trouble, and hold that thought the God's gonna come out as well. And the Zebo goes down. Malfurion without a sustain, and boom, it is a kill. A second up comes out, does not connect his carry. Looking to go down, and Li Ming is just resetting for her life here. 3 to 4 kills already, the last one there. Man, Zess and the one that got away.
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. This is still looking really, really strong on the side of Resurgence. We will be able to capture the boss, and looks like if the tribute will be spawning soon, they are very, very likely to capture it. And wow, this is pretty crazy. Resurgence has been playing pretty well.
Alright, so top area, you're going to see the boss getting addressed here. Still no straightforward aggression onto the keep, and it seems like the respawn timer looks pretty healthy for Meowpork. They should still hold their game, that this keep will go down.
That's right, but level 20, it's going to be huge on the side of Resurgence. A lot for Meowpork to actually try to defend.
Okay, alright, so there is a little bit of interesting play here. Look at the boss marching down the top lane. This is a win condition here for RSG. Level 20, the stun, if it hit, then Meowpork is in a lot of trouble. Now, but for Team Meowpork, if the Haka can pick up the curse now, they can still somehow slow this down. But it does not look like it's going to spawn soon. The curse is 404 not found.
Oh no. This is going to be crazy. They're fiercely trying to defend against the boss there. And it looks like they're still not engaging here on the side of Resurgence.
No, they're just looking for the pokes. They know that they don't want to hard commit because they can turn around and the cleanse comes out.
Beautiful cleanse.
Okay, the Haka's going to be fine. The stun does connect as well. Adaptation is going to bring up the full HP though. They're looking for a curse. Okay, so they played safe. It's about 70% HP on the core now. Capricorn going to swing down, try and pick up the tribute for a curse. Mid lane though.
Lane, they are still basically retreating, distracting him such that Falstad can actually get the tribute. Falstad will be getting the tribute. Will this be game on the side of Resurgence right now?
Oh, I feel like they still need to find a fight. And it's like 20 against 18. The game could have ended a long time ago, but now it's just not looking like it's convincing still. Man, RSG is just finding difficulties in closing out this game.
That was really interesting though. During the first boss push all the way to the core, that will have been probably the game-changing moment on the side of Resurgence.
They could have gusted, they could have VP, they could have done so much, but they just let the boss die there.
Oh my, that's such a waste. But nonetheless, second opportunity here on the side of Resurgence. We have the curse, 30 seconds on the clock. They can take down these two keeps. When these two keeps go down, it's going to spell some good news for them.
I feel like, yeah, they got to get this too, but they really, the way Meowpork's playing is so tight that I think Resurgence does not have that. I'm going to go in, Xcaric. Oh, the stun on Zappy! And Zappy goes down! That is the mistake! And the window here for Meowpork. Man.
Oh no! That was crazy. I have no idea why he went in so aggressively and he's just instantly being picked off. This is going to be disastrous. What could have been a very, very easy game for Resurgence, that is going to be a problem.
So now if you're Meowpork, you soak to 20, you go for a tribute, you get a curse, you probably want to get a boss as well. You can actually take an aggressive boss here, 36 seconds until you see the 0-2 respawn again.
And they're doing exactly that. They are going for the aggressive boss. They will be able to spot Yu Yang there. Yu Yang instantly reacts and they are still holding the front on the boss.
Alright, 5 versus 4. And they're still waiting for the level 20. I can understand that. Meanwhile, RSG, okay, they're going for the boss instead.
Yep, going for the defensive boss. Definitely a good play, seeing that they sort of reaffirm themselves of the position on the Meowpork hero. Meowpork now just realizing a tad too late. They are going for the boss. Comes in, they will be able to capture it. Just nice. And now they're forcing a fight here.
Okay, oh, everything got used there. And the Twilight Gym on the Leeming. Leeming gets rooted, Leeming goes down. CW is taken out. Julian now backs up. Yu Yang trying to stay alive. Julian still in a lot of trouble from Zessa, and Zappy swings by. And there goes the Void Prism being used to buy time. Man, level 20 is hit by Meowpork, and this game should have ended years ago.
That's right. So this is exactly what we were saying. The opportunity that Meowpork was waiting for. Yes, the base is pretty bare, but level 20 is where they truly shine. Nazebo is going to, the power spikes is going to go off the roof here.
Okay, they're just buying time now. They're just buying time to make sure that there's insufficient defense at the base. Malfurion goes down, 29 seconds. Leeming has got no global. The boss is on the core now, but Resurgence coming in. They don't have that Mighty Gust, but they do have a Wave of Force, though. Zessen dropping very low. The Minion's going in, but you see the Baru coming out. Zappy going in as well. The drag will connect, and the core will go down. Game 1 goes to RSG after so long. Man, it's, I don't know if they're playing too safe for me. It feels like they're just playing too safe. It could have ended a long time ago when they had those flawless plays, but they somehow allowed Meowpork little windows of opportunity to come back in here, and that was my problem with this game.
Yeah, absolutely agree, and that's what we said. Like, if you leave Meowpork, okay, one thing for sure, if you miss that opportunity, there is a really, really good chance that Meowpork could have came back from that.
Yeah.
And luckily, they managed to capitalize on that final opportunity. They missed the boss, they missed the curse, and finally managed to close it with the final boss. And yeah, and that was exactly what Meowpork was actually looking for, just that Resurgence ended it a bit too early for them. But that was really dangerous.
Alright, so Zappy was being aggressive. The drag connected so well. I have to give Zessan credit for the drag on Zappy though. The Dahaka against the Zeratul. Now, what I feel like could have been done a lot better on the side of Meowpork is that they knew that RSG might boss there. But they decided to retreat as a team. Alright, they didn't harp back. They walked back to the mid lane. They cleared the minions there. And then they walk again to the boss. That is a bit of a problem. We actually have some highlights of that match there. We're going to show you now on screen. So, Taddy Pay, let's go. Look at some of these awesome moments of this game number 1 here.
So that's right. This will be the VP on the side of Resurgence there to try to stop again, and it looks like they are all sort of split up here.
They are, but nice gust there. Pizza goes down. RSG managed to pick out 2. CW goes for a third one, and it's like, yeah, this is where I think RSG was able to win his fight so well because of the positioning of the Nazebo. You're gonna have to play around the Nazebo, not anything else, and for me, that is a problem. But at the end of the day, Nazebo dying in a mid lane 2 times, I think, and then getting picked off a couple of times as well was a critical failure on the side of Meowpork. They should have been playing this a lot tighter. They know there's a Zera tool there. I don't know if it would have been a lot better if RSG was able to land those Gus, those Void Prison, you know, just force and engage on the core. The boss is going to do the work. You just need to take the fight there. But they were playing so safe. They just wanted to make sure that they could win this game. But it came to be a little bit questionable towards the end.
That's right. The early game was really powerful. They managed to transit very flawlessly to the mid game. And once the boss was actually on the core, it was looked almost certain that they could win. But nonetheless, still good play. Well done to RSG for taking game number 1.
Yep, so game 1 goes to RSG. Now, Meowpork, if there is something you would like to advise them, what would it be?
I guess it comes all down to playing with your team composition.
Yep.
I mean, we knew from the start that you are powerful on the team fights and you're powerful in the late game. We have established that. So that means that you can actually bait out more fights on the side of Meowpork. But in the end, it became such that the positioning was scattered everywhere. Zera to Zappy was basically doing work with his picks off, especially on Nazebo, which is basically what Meowpork has to protect in that game. So play to the strength of your draft. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, there were moments of falter in Resurgence where we saw so many heroics being used that a wave of force, a great distance, it splits the team apart. Yeah, Mighty Gus as well, the Void Prison coming in to try and save Rhaegar at the end. Man, that's a little bit of a falter on that side. I'm not sure if Resurgence is going to be able to match up against Combox SEA with this level of play, but at this moment though, it does look like they are pretty comfortable. They just won a game, not in the most convincing fashion, because I know that it looks very one-sided, but that's because they had a very flawless laning phase. Very good team fights mid-game, but I feel like their weakness in not being able to end the game early could hurt them against a more refined team where they are able to play tighter, where they play around in a Zebo. We saw Zappy die and then RSG just fall apart. So I'm just afraid that happens somewhere along today's games.
That's right, and this is exactly what happened to Inquisition yesterday. I mean, they did really, really well, but at the end, they faltered a bit and basically just got overwhelmed by the aggression that came back. So that is going to be really important. It's not about your early games, it's about actually finishing the job. And RSG, like you mentioned, can do a lot more. I mean, we've seen the execution. That was really, really flawless. And even luck was on their side. I mean, they had the boss, they managed to take the tribute there. And because of that, you can say that they're a really powerful team.
Yeah, they are. Now we're waiting for information on the second game. I'm being told that the map actually will be Sky Temple. RSG picked this battleground. For Meowpork, they will have the first pick and ban. Meowpork, man, I don't know if they're going to stick to the same strategy, but this is their comfortable lineup. Maybe minus the Nazebo.
Yeah, I mean, Nazebo definitely skews it up to the late game. And I mean, if you substitute the Nazebo, might be interesting to see how they perform. Will they be able to capture the momentum better, especially for a more pick-orientated composition on the side of Resurgence? So let's see what their draft will be like.
Yeah, there's also the possibility of Tychus being banned as a factor there. We know Pizza Xiao, he plays Gul'dan and Tychus, and the fact that both of those heroes were being banned out could actually indicate that there is a hero pool restriction on this player. So we'll see. Now, game number 2 draft is ready. We're good to go into this one. Sky Temple, how do you feel about this map?
Well, it's definitely a bit of change of pace here. I mean, for tributes, you're definitely going more for a single point. Everyone converges there. So it's fine to run a pick-orientated composition. But when it comes on the side of Sky Temple, there is a possibility that you can still have a single point or even 2 points right now. So it's going to be a bit of a change up in strategy on both teams. Let's see how they can react to each other here.
All right, Resurgence with the first pick and ban. I feel like it's not correct. So we may actually have to remake this one.
Oh
and yeah, it's just a bit of a mistake. Meowpork should be the one banning this this game.
Okay.
All right, they're just gonna do a redraft. No problem there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna adjust my headset. Man, I look good today.
Check out his tie, guys. So you're saying that the tie looks good even though you close the suit? And
If someone ever challenged me to say weird stuff with a straight face, I can only do that when I'm talking about myself. Yeah. All right, so waiting for the lobby to remake here. Sky Temple, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. The draft is ready. And we do have Meowpork now with the ban.
That's right. So let's see where they will go for the first ban. The first ban was Resurgence in the previous game. They banned Gul'dan, so it was very obviously sort of a counter against the players on the side of Meowpork. Resurgence, however, definitely a very strong team. They've been playing for a long while now, as you mentioned, so the amount of heroes that they can go for simply enormous here. So it's going to be a bit difficult, especially going for the first ban on the side of Meowpork. I mean, they can go for the normal globals, which they have actually hovering on the file set as well. Or they can just go for the normal Tassadar and Zarya build, seeing that, well, these players likely haven't really had a lot of experience in playing the new Tassadar rework.
Look at that shadow ban. They're deciding they want to take out the Zera tool. Man.
I mean,
or
Zera
not.
2 ban
Or
is,
Kerrigan,
yeah,
or Vala.
or everybody.
Fine.
I saw Gaslow hover there.
I don't know, maybe they're just deciding what they want to do. Okay, they'll take out the Falstad.
Looks like they take the false set.
Okay, that's fine. Now, Falstad is it's a very strong hero on this battleground. Sky Temple, also Capricorn's favorite hero. To a certain extent, he plays it a lot in competitive play. Now, for Resurgence, the question here is, do they take out the Tassadar or do they stick with the Gul'dan ban?
That's right. I mean, Tassadar will be really powerful, especially in this map, the amount of utility you can bring to the field. I mean, with Oracle and a bit of rework as well. Always Tassadar is always the burden of the second team to ban, and that gives a lot of opportunity for Meowpork. Meowpork can even secure a Dahaka potentially here.
Yeah, but like what we said yesterday about Tassadar, he now currently has got a 4-second shield with an 8-second cooldown, so it's very different type of play. You no longer can spam the shields as much, and it probably is going to wear off a lot faster, but it will still be a ban from RSG.
Alright, so taking up Tassadar. So now, does Meowpork respond with the Dahaka pick here? Securing a very strong global on their side. This can put them in a very favorable position here.
No, they're going to go to Gul'dan. It was banned on last game. They want to show the world what they're made of. Gul'dan will be the pick here for Meowpork, but that unfortunately unlocks the possibility of a Resurgence going for Dahaka themselves, which would, like you mentioned, Teddy, the global for RSG.
That's right, Global will be really powerful here, and they will be taking Dahaka. So basically, Meowpork will be giving up the global presence to Resurgence here, and that means that they have to respond really well. They can go for ETC, probably the next known to be able to go for a global presence with Stage Dive. But nonetheless, they will be going for the Muradin here, and likely we can see a Morales or Oriel there to sort of complement the Gul'dan.
I feel like it possibly would be an Oriel or Medic. It has to be picked now. If not, it's going to get banned. Or the one that Meowpork prefers would naturally be a Medic because of the fact that Meowpork, the support player on that team, he plays a lot of Medic. However, it will be interesting to see them play Oriel as well.
That's right. I mean, both of these support heroes have high synergy with Gul'dan, of course. And we'll get to that if they choose it.
Oh, no. They're like, we're done. We're done. You banned 2 of our heroes last game. We're going to take both of them in the first phase. It's not going to happen again, RSG. So, Resurgence now, I don't think they can... I don't think they're going to run Oriel Malfurion. I think that's a little bit too greedy. I don't think they can run Medic Malfurion. So, either one's going to go to Meowpork. I really like the fact that they picked up Tychus there. But man, Resurgence, they're going to be going into a pretty hard game here.
That's right. I mean, now that we come up with all these theories, I think it just makes sense right now to... Okay, they're definitely... Okay, not definitely, but they're likely to ban the support here. I mean, they are lacking a support on the side of Meowpork. So because of that, they might be going for the Oriel ban here, seeing that the synergy with Gul'dan.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There we have Oriel banned. But they still need to find a way to address the backline. All right, a Zeratul second ban. I like that.
That's right. Showing how powerful Zappy can be on the Zeratul. They will be banning the Zeratul, but this gives a lot of free roam on Gul'dan and Tychus to actually continue soaking the lanes if they deem fit.
Okay, now for Resurgence, 2 more picks here. Do they want to go double support? Lucio, Daka, solo frontline, not so good, but can they pull off with having just 1 damage dealer? I'm not so sure if they're comfortable on brawlers like Sonya, but we know they ran Lyric before. Probably not going to see 2 support though.
And now picking the tanks might be a bit interesting, seeing that they already have a Tychus on the side of Meowpork. So to actually go for a lot of bruisers, a lot of frontliners, that might be a bit of a consideration. They're definitely taking their time here. They don't want to go for a bit of crazy picks.
Okay, so a couple of options here. Like we said, a second warrior would be good. Lyric is a pretty good option against Muradin, but it will be the Vala ETC instead. So they will just have the right-click damage dealer with an ETC at play. It just leaves me to ask that question: are we going to see a Lily on the side of Resurgence now?
Well, Lily on the side of Resurgence, definitely possible.
Is my team going to fail me?
They're not going to fail you. They're going to show you how powerful Lily can be. So far, I must say, Lily is going to perform really well so far. I mean, seeing that Tychus and Muradin are very powerful, and once Lily going for the blind build, we'll be able to potentially shut them down just for a few seconds.
Teddy, I'm not paying them anymore.
They're showing you how powerful Lily can be.
Alright, so 2 more picks on the side of Meowpork. They definitely want another warrior, unless they're confident on solo Muradin though, which I feel is not good at all for Meowpork. They have the Kurza, he should be on in the off tank. In this instance, a few possible options would be the Lyric or Arthas. I think both would do pretty well. I would personally prefer Lyric a little bit better because they got 2 warriors there on that side. You got Tychus and Lyric so good, but nope, they go for the Sonya and Morales. It's going to be the medic there.
Alright, so with the Oriole ban, the last, or not the last, but the support, another support hero that is has really good synergy with Gul'dan. Definitely the Morales there. And Sonya there, basically another frontliner. Going to be really important, this frontliner, because you have to pull the aggression away from Gul'dan. You don't want everyone basically to be focusing on the Gul'dan and taking him out fast.
Do they want to go for another warrior?
Interesting though. I mean,
Okay.
seeing that's Tychus there.
Yeah, I think it's fine to go for Lyric here. I don't like it. You're just putting a lot of damage on Vala itself, but you got so much crowd control. The last pick has to really make use of it. Chromie's doesn't look good, but should be fine. Maybe Kilthas? I don't know. Alright, it's gonna be an Artanis. They go for 3 warrior frontline Resurgence, man. Okay.
Wow. 3 warrior frontline. So
going from 1 warrior to 3 warrior, showing the breadth of flexibility that this team has. It's just mind-blowing. Personally, I've seen them play Artanis before. I'm going to leave my comments till the game later to let you know a little bit more. But on that note, though, this lineup here looks very strong on the front line. They probably want to dive the Gul'dan. The win condition here is to take out the Gul'dan or Morales. And in this kind of a play, they got 2 options. The Haka with the flank. You can also look for Artanis with the face prism. And you also have ETC if it goes stage dive, but it potentially will be a mosh pit.
that's right. I mean, mosh pit will be very powerful crowd control here. And yes, absolutely agree. They have to take the Gul'dan out. So basically, here comes the win condition. The win condition on the side of Resurgence is basically to take out the main damage dealer, and that's going to be Gul'dan. If Meowpork will be able to keep Gul'dan alive with Muradin. Muradin has to stick close to Gul'dan. Any out of position movements on the side of Meowpork will mean a death for Gul'dan, seeing how fierce Resurgence's draft is.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a strong and fun game to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2, Resurgence versus Meowpork. And on the red team, we got with us here Team Meowpork. The Kurza will be your Murd, and X-Carrick will be the Gul'dan. Pizzatel on that Tychus, Zs the Sonya, and Meowpork himself, the captain and iconic member. He will be your Morales.
That's right. And on the blue team, we have Resurgence there. Yu Yang on the Dahaka there. Julian on the Malfurion there. Really powerful Malfurion plays that he has. Zappy on the Artanis. CW on the ETC. Last but not least, we have Vala on Capricorn.
All right. So the game just started right now. Just wondering if the audio is on, but no worries. They're gonna pick up the sentry point.
That's right, going straight for the sentry point there. Still no sign of the offlaners going for the other lanes. And now we see the offlaner. So it's really interesting there. Meowpork doesn't have a very powerful offlaners. Looks like they will be sending Sonya down into the bottom offlane.
Okay, Sonya against the Haka. By right, Sonya should win that lane pretty easily, but it depends on play there as well. Artana's top lane is not good at all, so we have a bit of rotation coming in, and you can see the aggression already being used, and on to Gul'dan, the swap goes in, the rook comes out. Xcarrick, man, in a bad shape.
Oh no, but still nonetheless, look at the amount of healing coming out on the side of Meowpork. We'll be able to keep Xcarrick alive. So this is once again showing how the strategy unfolds for Resurgence. They have to take Morales down before he can heal Gul'dan, basically nullifying any of the dives that they actually perform.
I really like the fact that I think that was a success already, because for me, it's like 50% mana on Morales gone. And the temples are actually activated right about now. We have a global in the bottom lane. I'm not sure if Sonya is going to rotate in time though.
That's right. So Sonya will be at the bottom lane. It's going to be a bit hard. But right now, they're still going for Xcarrick though. He will be able to get caught in the attacking routes, going straight for CW. And with the Foul Flame, we'll be pushing him away. So he has to go back for either the Healing Fountain or actually TP back to base. But nonetheless, they're still in the middle lane. The Kurza very comfortably on the middle shrine, going to be contested by Zappy.
Okay, misses the stun. We all know that now, the Kurza. Meowpork's mana is back to 50%. Xcarrick's going to be very happily using the live tap. We still see the Haka in the bottom just soaking. Mid Temple will go to RSG. Top side, it looks like it's still pretty even though.
But nonetheless, CW still holding the front on the top shrine right now. And it looks like they still can't really go in onto the shrines on both the top and the middle shrines.
Oh wow, this is value. They got two heroes on each side. They got both shrines for a little bit. Meowpork is still at 50% HP. We're not seeing... Okay, there we go. Vala just rotated up here a little bit. And Meowpork so low, but the pinks, man, they're going to have to pull back.
That's right. I mean, definitely a good call. Oh, but here comes the Kaza. They will be forcing to this fight right now. 4v3. This is a good chance on the side of Meowpork. He's going straight for Julian there. CW trying to zone everyone away. Zappy comes in to join the fray. He will be able to take Xcarrick down. Xcarrick will be taken down in that process.
Meowpork was zoned out by Yu Yang. Great job from the Haka, but at what cost? The bottom lane EXP will now slot heavily in favor for Team Meowpork. They got a little bit of those damage coming out from the temple. If possible, let's just look at the mid and top lane structures to see what is the damage that's been dealt like here. So not so much on the side of RSG. On the other side, they lost the healing well. So mid lane more likely inclined for RSG. This is pretty okay. Top lane wise, they lost just the tower. That's about it. All right, now Yu Yang's going to soak the top lane, which is really good. It's in time. Bottom lane, we see Arten is there.
Wow. So, so far, sort of going really well for Resurgence in the early game. They're controlling the map really well, pushing the lanes, and still taking the team fights. And go CW going straight for the Kurza there, just exchanging blows. But here comes the reinforcement. The cavalry has arrived in the middle lane. But nonetheless, Resurgence going for the camps. Pretty aggressive move, if I can ask. Coming out of nowhere, taking the opponent's camps.
This is greedy, but it may work out. The Kurza looking for the dwarf toss. He does not see this, and it goes to RSG.
Oh, no.
CW gonna be fine. That's an ETC. He's also known as the Crazy Cow. He's gonna be okay.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Zess, and without oh, there we go. The swap goes in place.
Wow, well done with the swap there. And then, Zess will be taken down in the process. Really good swap there.
Do note, Julian right-click that Sonya and kill him.
Taken out by a Malfurion.
Just taking advice from one of the best players in SEA, you have to AA more on the support.
Yes. AA more on the support.
So we
Spoken
have
like
we also have the grenade going out, but all right. So bottom lane's already completely erased the front lane structures, and we have also got a bit of no top lane aggression, no usage of those bruiser camps just yet.
That's right. And looks like the bottom temple will be coming out, and this is going to be a huge advantage right now for Resurgence. They are all roughly on the bottom temple, but on the top lane, we have the Haka and Sonya. Sonya may not be able to join the bottom shrine in time, and they will be still going in for the kill there because they're trying to zone everyone away right now, and they just very passively move back, and that's actually a good play.
All right, in the rhythm there for Tychus. We don't see the minigun being activated there as well. So top lane, we still have Daka soaking. RSG is not in a rush to fight this one. All 5 members on the side of Meowpork's already here.
Interesting seeing that they didn't want to take the fight given that Sonya was in the top lane. But nonetheless, this is likely going to be a 5v5 fight. Dahaka can join anytime soon here. There's still, nonetheless, Meowpork successfully pushing Resurgence back, allowing them to take the tempo just a little bit longer. But nonetheless, Resurgence hitting level 10, they're trying to avoid that from happening. Level 10 comes from Resurgence, that's going to be disaster.
I think it's still like a half charge on the temple, right? Okay, no, it's almost done. This is not worth it right there. There we go. The Cursa jumps out, but the face prison from Zappy on point max range, and you say, here comes the laser beam. Pew, pew, bye-bye.
Wow, well done on the laser beam. They unloaded everything onto Muradin. Will be able to take him out. And that means Meowpork has to go back. But they still, nonetheless, saving grace, they managed to capture quite a bit of the tempo. And this is going to put them a bit more in a comfortable position, but they definitely cannot take any fights anymore. And look at this play, Resurgence is actually going for the boss.
Yeah, they are. They are level 10. They can really do this. I think this is going to even out the amount of charges they lost in the bottom lane, but also because they were soaking EXP, so this works out. But only if they can get it, and here comes Team Meowpork. Some of the heroics are already down on the side of RSG. CW, he does have the mosh pit, and he goes in for the mosh onto Pizza Cell. The cleanse comes out, it's going to be okay. The boss is being a spy there with a tornado, but we also see the cursor jumping away. 2 men down on the side of Team Meowpork.
And this is what they exactly needed, to take Gudan out before the fight even began. Gudan was there, he was instantly deleted there before the fight even happened, and because of that, they just fell short on the damage. Meowpork couldn't even contest against the boss, and they just fell, and now the boss is actually going on the bottom lane.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys in the stream can hear this, but it's music for me, lacking a little bit of sound effects in this game, but no worries, we still see the explosive action. It's even better that way, maybe. Okay, the stun from the boss. I don't know what CW is doing there. He's going to be fine. Oh, that's the grenade. He still has the power slide. He's going to be okay.
That's right. As long as CW doesn't do anything foolhardy right now, Dekaza actually came in, tried to catch CW out, but luckily won't be able to take him out. CW falling might be a bit of trouble there. But nonetheless, rotation happening. Going in the middle lane, ZSM misses the Ancient Spear right there.
Alright, still 58 seconds before we see the mosh pit. Level 11 instead of Team Meowpork. They've been playing from behind. 2 temples. TeddyPay, what do you think is going to happen now?
Well, it looks like they're still going to rotate now. Meowpork is still sticking as a team, going for the middle temple now. And it seems like Malfurion actually will be joining the team. So once Meowpork realizes that they're a bit out of position, that's going to be disaster. They're going straight for CW. CW luckily misses the spear there.
CW sidestepping there was really good. And on the flip side though, Julian is at the bottom lane, channeling up the temple pretty okay. The Haka top lane just rotated away. He's going for the sentry point. Mid lane wise, it's fine as well. But Team Meowpork, they are 1 talent here down again. They got to make sure that they take a fight somewhere or lose both temples.
It's going to be a huge problem seeing that Artanis now has gone to the bottom shrine, the bottom temple, and Malfurion will be rotating down to the middle temple. So it's a really good balance of offense and defense on the side of Resurgence. They only go in when they can, knowing that they're 1 man down. And they are trying to go now for a bit of a soak now. The Haka going on the top lane, Sunya will be going 1-on-1. The middle temple has been taken. No, haven't been taken yet actually. And still going there, Yu Yang going against ZN, and like we mentioned there, Sonya really good against the Dahaka. And now finally the middle temple will be going to Resurgence.
Alright, so the temple will, the last few charges there was fought for using blood and sweat from CW, the ATC. He was just body blocking a lot and just going in, being very painful to deal with. Meanwhile, damage has been done to structure on the side of Team Meowpork, and RSG finds themselves with an opportunity here for the Bruiser Camp.
That's right. Now, RSG once again capitalizing on all their early game advantage. They will be going for the Bruiser Camps there and trying to push in. There are 2 levels ahead. 1 talent tier advantage on the side of Meowpork. This, once again, can be a very easy win on the side of Resurgence if they don't do anything foolhardy here. So right now they are bearing onto the top lane there, but still fantastic defense on the side of Meowpork, pushing everyone back. They're rotating down to the middle lane.
I think it's a little bit too greedy to finish the fight there if they're only 1 talent up. I mean, it's like 14 versus 12. Very close for Team Meowpork to get that level 13. All they need to do is just pick up 1 kill, and they're already back on the same talent level. Meanwhile, the Haka just soaking the global sacrifice there. This is all because they banned that false stat.
Yeah, that's right. Really important to have the global heroes on, especially as a map like the Sky Temples, Yu Yang there. The entire cavalry was coming for him, but he backs off just in time.
Alright, CW mid lane. Okay, this is an ETC. He's going to be fine.
Yep, going away. The Kurza there still giving chase, but once seeing Zappy, he instantly moves back. Oh, but he still goes for it though. He's going into corruption there, taking CW's life going down, and here he comes, and he just moves just a little bit back to Kurza though. Still really aggressive.
All right, and a stun on to Vala. Capri, a little bit of trouble there. We'll be fine. You still see the mid 4 being challenged here. Will go down. Zesan moving forward aggressively. The rest of RG is already in position. A solo temple. One talent down. Oh my god. Meowpork not looking good at all.
That's right. And throughout this entire fight, Dahaka was actually at the bottom keep. He will be actually going in and might be knocking onto the gates right now. The solo temple at the top there is going to put Meowpork at such a huge disadvantage right now.
Can I give a shout out to Xkaric? That sidestep, moving backwards a little bit, was so good. He actually moved backwards before he saw Artanis came out with the swap there. So that was really well done. Meanwhile, Horrify is being used. ETC, a little bit of a trouble there, but we'll be okay.
While that cleanse will be able to keep him just alive a little bit longer. They will be going for the top tempo now.
All right, we got Mercenaries pushing on top. RSG relocates to the top temple. 16 against 14. And Team Meowpork finds themselves not in the best of spot. And I like this call. A little bit greedy, but if it works out well, this is going to be a win condition.
That's right. I mean, capturing the boss and also capturing the temple at the same time, sort of putting a bit of pressure on the top temple. Good plays there. They're still going for the boss. They're sort of distracting what the team is actually going for. Will Meowpork get wise to that though? Yes, they do. Oh, actually not really. They're still going for Zappy. Zappy's sort of distracting for the entire team. He will be caught, unfortunately, and still will be taken down by 4 of Meowpork's teammates.
Yeah, this is a necessary sacrifice though, but this also means that they now see the boss being picked up, and 40 seconds before Zappy's back in his game, and all of a sudden you see Team Meowpork having to go all the way back to the base to defend. They could have, they may not have realized that a boss was being attempted there by RSG.
All right, so okay, hats off to that call. Really awesome call there. Putting the Haka and Artanis there to pressure the top temple, and then subsequently taking the boss. All right, that was really good play. With that though, the gamble paid off. They will be able to both capture the top tempo and push with the boss, pressuring the middle lane as well.
It was difficult because, you know, Meowpork, instinctively you want to go for the tempo, right? But at that level and at that point in time, the top keep was being threatened by the temple, the bottom by the boss. So this is a good call. It's just a little bit unfortunate. Artanis, he was a little bit greedy. He tried to go for the sentry point, but he got caught out there. Yep. So now 18 against 15, and Team Meowpork again behind, looking for that level 16 talent.
It's going to be really hard given that they don't really have the globals in the team. Bruiser Cam now on the top lane. Looks like Resurgence actually might be going for it.
It's possible, but they have no vision. All right, now they do. So they realize that, okay, they're just going for the keep now.
Wow.
You're going to have to come back home. It's not possible. You don't want to trade the keep for the fort. They got a fort eventually, but are they able to come back in time? That's the question. No, Zappy's there, and they get the keep. They pull back out. Thank you very much, sir. That is the furthest I've seen a Muradin jump my entire time casting this game.
Wow. But nonetheless, really good plays on Resurgence there. It is not about the team fights. It is about the shot calling. It's about knowing what to go for. And they knew exactly what to go for. They have their vision on Meowpork. They go straight for the keep. And they have to actually retreat, stop their push. And that's really good plays on the side of Resurgence.
If you think about Resurgence, right, at that level, at that point, there was nothing much they could have done otherwise. They are already 3 levels ahead. They may want to fight, but then again, it's 19 against 16, right? So RSG playing the old school, let's soak to 20 first. This time around, 2 temples. Both don't look good for Team Meowpork, but RSG still not level 20 yet, so it could still be a pretty even fight now.
Well, but look like Meowpork might be wanting to take the fight. They are just going so aggressive, going into Resurgence's territory there. They're rotating now into the sentry point, going for the top tempo now. Yu Yang only on the top tempo, giving Resurgence the bottom tempo now. And this is going to be a problem. It's going to mean that potentially the keep will be taken out.
It will. It will be taken out, and maybe even some shots on the core. But however, if you look at it this way, the reason why Team Meowpork's moving in such a fashion is because they don't have a choice. But RSG, they just don't want to fight with 2 temple. It's like they don't have to do anything here. They just move away. Yep, you're going to fire at my keep. Well, congratulations. I'm going to fire at your core. See which one's going to be a little bit more painful. You look at Meowpork trying to half back home, but he cancels it. Gul'dan goes back instead, and that's already a Vala and a Malfurion on the call. Gul'dan is there. The Curza now pulls back as well. CW, without that stage dive, he might be regretting a little bit. But, man, the damage still going in. I don't think it is going to be enough, though. 60, 56. This is like a mathematical game, and I'm so bad at math.
But nonetheless, they will be able to catch a lot of important shots onto the court. 27% now.
Okay.
Looks like they can rush in. Looks like they can go for the top tempo. They have a lot of options on the side of Resurgence here.
Okay, backup has arrived. And the mosh pit onto one only, but it's not going to be enough, though. The Curza will pull back. Again, jumping very shortly. And Muradin goes down. One man out on the side there. That is the Haka is being pushed away by the Sonya and the Tychus. They still get the temple, so he's still okay. Zappy going mad on the court. Horrified comes out, and it is not going to be enough, though. The core will still stand. 18%. ZN.
Oh wow, ZN really low, trying to half back. He's still, but oh, the Moonfire will be able to take him out. So right now, the teams are both taking quite impressive risks here.
All right, so 3 versus 3. Do you go for core with a Vala, ETC, and Malfurion? Up against no warrior, Team Meowpork, double damage dealer. He doesn't have Mosh though. He's got Blink, or rather Bolt of the Storm. And Capricorn again going to work on the core already. Xcarric with those Fel Flame, they hurt a lot. The grenades all connect. Pizzaciao already just being a beast there. At least they waste the Steam Drone right now. It's going to be a lot better than to face it later on. The Haka is also back in his game. He's got a global. It's at the bottom lane now, clearing that up pretty well. But this camp, though, seems a little bit iffy to me. No mosh pit. You want to play so aggressively, that's okay. This will also unlock the boss 5 seconds before our tennis is back, though.
That's right, and look at the heroics now. Like you mentioned, the Steam Drone has been used, and that means that we are 4 heroics against 4 heroics when we go into the next fight. Looks like they wouldn't want to take the boss. That was a good call. Taking the boss might have been disastrous on the side of Resurgence.
Okay, Pizza's going to be fine. You're going in again. Kurza going in for the stun. Okay, on to CW, but that Bolt, though.
Wow. We'll be able to save him just in the nick of time.
It's boss. This is game.
Yeah, this is game.
Just disengage. This is what do you do when the team just don't want to fight? Most Southeast Asian teams don't understand this because they feel like this is a phase grind meta. This is a phase grind game. But look at this. You just go for objectives. Don't fight. They want to pick a fight against your tanks. You just pull back. You bully them in the early game, and that's done. Now Julian goes in.
Just trying in.
The Kurza, though, pulls back.
Wow, just going in, really going ham for CW, but CW is like, nope, not taking a fight today, not ever. And just taking the tempo, and that is going to be game. Congratulations to the side of Resurgence for taking out Team Meowpork.
All right, so they got both temple, they got a boss. They ended the game in such a fashion there was absolutely no way Team Meowpork could have